We would be honored if you would join us.
All right, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to have Silver Britches joining us once again for the second part of this episode. How's it going today, sir? How you doing?
Good, man. Let's go ahead and get this deuce rolling, brother.
Yeah, man. And SC, how you doing, man?
As usual, brother, I'm just happy to be here.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, same here, man. So guys, if you didn't hear the first part of this episode, we talked to Silver Britches and we got to know a lot about him and very interesting stuff. If you follow along with his channel, then you might have known some of it, but also a lot of new stuff. So definitely go check that out. And also please note the disclaimer that ExpatStacker and Silver Conundrum are not financial advisors or experts. Investing is risky and comes with the chance that you could lose money. So talk to a licensed professional before making any decisions about what to do with your money. This video and all of the contents on our channels is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. And in this part, we're going to be talking about the YouTube game because you are the most popular guest that we've had so far, and you're the biggest one, and you know many of the other guests that we've had on are smaller channels. I'm a smaller channel. SC is a smaller
I'm definitely a smaller channel.
and so I mean, like, just basically, like, what I'm getting at is that you kind of have a different perspective a little bit than most of the other content creators out there. Like you were saying before, like, as your channel gets bigger, you're gonna get more haters and stuff like that. So that's just an example of like how being a bigger channel and being monetized and stuff like that, kind of affects the perspective. And we were just like talking a little bit, off air about some of that stuff as well. So I just wanted to like get your inside perspective on being monetized and being a bigger channel. So let me ask you this, like, what are some of the pros and cons of being monetized?
Oh, the pros, you get a little extra income. I mean, as far as cons, is probably going to be taxes. That you got to pay taxes on that income.
Mhm.
So it's kind of hit and miss. It just really depends on how much you get paid per video, really, and whether or not it's even worth it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. All right. And what kind of lessons do you think you've learned as you've grown your channel? Like, what kind of lessons have you learned as it relates to stacking, but also like just being a YouTube content creator, and even maybe like, dealing with people, like, communicating or things like that?
Number one is engagement. As soon as you launch a video, you need, in someone comments, you need to be engaged with that person. You need to somehow get as many comments on your channel as possible. I know a lot of people, they love to do the premieres now,
Mhm.
and that's great. You get a lot of engagement right off the bat. But the problem with that is it's kind of like the algorithm is more geared towards your comment section. So the more comments you can get on your videos, and your comments are included in that as well, they're counted just as much as everybody else's comments are counted. And don't, a lot of people, they get hung up on the likes and dislikes. You don't have to, it doesn't really matter. But if you make a video and someone takes the time to comment on your video, I've always tried to engage with that person to show my appreciation, number one, and to number two, it also drives more people to your videos, to feed the algorithm. So engagement is a really big deal. And if you if you're going to do the cross-platform type deal, like, Instagram, and if you're going to put your email out there, you need to, you need to respond, because if someone has, if they're interacting on your channel, you need to interact with that person as much as possible. And so I try to do that, because like I said, if someone takes the time to reach out to me, I will definitely return the favor.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. You're right though, man. As long as they're willing to take the time to put in the effort, you should take equal amount of time to put in just as much effort to them.
Absolutely. Because time's precious. You only get so many trips around the sun. So unless you're a flat earther, but
sorry, that hit me at the core. I have a buddy of mine who's a flat earther, man. And me and him get into this discussion all the time.
They're out there, man. The flat earthers, man, it's real. I'm sorry if that offends you out there, but the flat earth society, man, it's a real thing.
Oh God, my side hurts.
But like I said, you only get so much time on the earth. So, if someone decides to use a little bit of their time, I'll give some of my time in return.
Yeah,
that's only fair.
Yeah. So, another way of creating engagement, I guess, is creating controversy. So now we're gonna get like a whole bunch of, flat earthers commenting on the video.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just playing. That was funny.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. That's really good.
Sometimes you gotta stir the pot, man. So you stir the pot and people respond. And if you can trigger someone, then that triggers a comment. And then you respond with your own comment in a way to where it triggers another comment from them. I'm not saying antagonize, but I'm just saying, if there's a way to keep the engagement going, it's going to drive more views to your video.
Yeah. And also, I think it allows you to be yourself, and each person to be themselves, because I know that like sometimes there are like a few ideas or certain principles or, whatever that are popular within, this community. So people, they don't want to be like different, or contrarian or anything. And I'm not saying that you should be contrarian. I'm just saying, don't be afraid to be yourself, because if you hold a viewpoint that is maybe unpopular, or maybe you haven't heard other people talking about it or something like that, you might be able to stir the pot that way. And I mean, as long as you're not promoting something that's like, illegal or hurting other people or something like that, then it's all right to be yourself and to, discuss your viewpoint with other people. I mean, that's how we learn things. So you don't have to go along to get along, and just by being yourself, you might be able to create some engagement. So that's a good point.
Right. Yeah. And that keeps it real. Like, just like all those guys, like the super huge, YouTube channels, right? They do the unboxings, right? And then they give their reviews or their opinions based off of how they feel about it, right? And they're trying to be completely biased. The good ones do. They'll tell you the pros and the cons of it. They won't just tell you it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? They'll tell you, well, I don't really like the camera focus on this one, or something like that. And that's how people are being real and legitimate, and that drives people to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people are, when they know they feel that they can trust you, then that's definitely gonna, bring more people to support you consistently. So that's good.
Goes a long way.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so engagement, that's definitely one big thing you've learned since growing your channel. Were there any other things that you feel like you've learned, or is that just the major one right there?
That's the major one, is engagement. And another one that I tell people is good audio and good camera. That'll that helps a lot. And try not to stumble a lot. I know a lot of times, man, I'll stumble and I'll have to redo the whole damn thing, or I have to do a lot of editing or something. And I try not to use filler words, right? Like and so, like things like that, or using the word like. I try not to use filler words. I try to talk as clear and transparent as possible to get the video going. And if you can if you deviate from that, if you stumble, then it kind of, you kind of lose interest in your audience.
Yeah, because those filler words are, and I'm guilty of that, by the way. I
We
spend
Me
all
too.
are.
I spend a lot of time editing out from my videos. Um
I
mean,
don't edit. You get what you get.
but like those words are like kind of functional words that hold a sentence together or connect like different parts of speech, but they're not like the main content that people are there for,
Right.
so yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, don't stumble on your words or use those filler words. So another thing that I've been noticing, so you mentioned the premieres, and these days there's also I see a lot of giveaways, the gauze,
Mhm.
and mail calls, and stickers and sticker trades and all this kind of thing, right? So that's all also a form of engagement, and
Right.
especially the gauze, I think, are like a way of getting people driving traffic to a channel. So what do you think? One pretty well-known member of the community recently, Anna T, she made a video kind of questioning the direction that these gauze have been going in and stuff, and sort of asking, do you think that she put like a
Are they
poll out
worth
there?
it?
So, yeah, are they worth it? Are they getting out of control and stuff like that? And I've also been over to some channels where, like, the there'll be like 4 or 5, 6 videos in a row where it's just mail call, nothing but mails. Just like reading letters from friends. And hey, I'm not knocking anybody. Just that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do, and it's like a hobby. It's a fun thing. It's cool. I get it. Like, um, and people might think I'm jealous because I'm out here in Korea and stuff. But like, I've gotten a letter stuff in the mail before too, and it's exciting. It's fun. It is like another form of engagement, and I think it's good. It's good because it holds everything together. But it's kind of taken on a life of its own a little bit. Maybe it seems like. But I mean, what's your opinion on it? Do you do gauze? Have you won gauze, mail calls, stickers, and all that kind of stuff? Like, do you do all that stuff?
Um, Whenever I was, fairly new, yes. And I did a giveaway a couple months ago. I want to say it was in November. I did a giveaway. And the reason
Mm.
why I did that giveaway is because I was sent 11 ounces to review, and it was mine to keep. And all I had to do was review the ounces and show off the company that sent it to me.
Mm.
And so what I did in return is I immediately, as soon as they approached me, I asked them. I said, "Well, how about you give me a coupon code or something like that, to where I can give back to my subscribers. You know what I mean? So that they could go to your site and actually use a coupon code to buy from you." And they're like, "No, no, we can't do that." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, then, and this was before the Libertads came out. So I was like, well, if you could send me some Libertads, I mean, go ahead and do that." And they're like, "No, we can't do that. We don't have them yet." I was like, "Well, send me something and I'll review it." And I was already thinking about, giving it away. And I ended up giving away 11 ounces, one to Instagram, and the 10-ounce bar was on YouTube. And I used it to my advantage. And the way that I used it to my advantage was, I told you in the beginning of the video, okay, gauze, they work. They actually help promote you if you do them the right way. Okay. And this is going to stem back to the comments where I told you about before. So they sent me the 10-ounce bar and the 1-ounce round. Now I reviewed it and I told people, I said in the beginning of the video, I said, you're going to want to stay to the end. You're going to want to stay to the end. I got something special for you at the end. And the people that stayed, they got it. You know what I mean? All they had to do was exactly what I did. Is I told them to put it in there. Thanks, Provident Metals. And God, I still get comments on that video, even though it's gone. I've already given it away. And it's funny because you can use the gauze to your advantage. If you just say, you know, I'm giving away blah, 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 and they don't watch your video, what's the point? If they just enter in a comment, what's the point? But if they watch the entire video, that's the whole point, is you got to get your watch time up, correct? You also have to create engagement and drive to your channel. So I ended up giving that away to someone, and I think it was Cactus Jack won the round, and it was a viewer that has no channel. I'm not going to say their name, but they live in Philly, and it took like a month and a half to get there because that was when the mail was all screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was ecstatic. I mean, super happy about that. So, you know, whenever you get those emails in return about how excited people are, you know, it does matter whenever you're giving away. So I was able to use that bullion dealer to give away some silver to some people that actually wanted it. So you know, the gauze, they do help. You know, they create excitement. They have their purpose. As long as you do them the right way and you don't take advantage of people, then yes, it works out great. But if you're just doing video after video of all the gauze that you've won, nobody gives a crap about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes,
I do.
You know what I mean? But if you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, then yeah, I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And do you have you have stickers and do you do like mail call videos and stuff like that as well?
I don't do mail call videos. In fact, I got a bunch of mail I still haven't gone through, and I need to go through it. And I even have a Silver Conundrum letter. I still need to go through my mail. I'm horrible at that. The mail, I
Well,
really am horrible at that. I need to do better with that. But as far as replying to comments and everything digitally, I always do. But mail, man, it's a whole nother animal.
it
Yeah.
is. It's a part-time job.
It is. It sure is.
Like,
And I do have stickers. And so you have to buy stamps, right? So you
Yep.
have to buy the stickers and you have to have the post office box.
Yep.
So
There's
if
a
you're
cost
not
involved.
if you're not monetized, it takes money out of your pocket. And even if you are monetized, it takes money out of your income that you use for your channel.
That's
But
right.
people like it, people enjoy it. And plus, you kind of you need to send them something in return depending on what they have in there. And I have no problem with that. I have no problem with giving back. But I've given back. I've done several giveaways on my channel, and people love it. They generally love it. And you have people that just watch your videos for the giveaways. So
Yeah. See, that's the downside too, though. You have the gaw. I call them gaw whores because that's the only thing they do is they type in the word gaw and search. And I don't care if you're giving away gold, silver, a Mercedes. Hell, you'd be giving away a maple tree. Well, it's a gaw. They try to enter it, and there's no real context there. And to me,
that's
it
why I don't put it in my
defeats the
title.
whole purpose of it.
I don't put it in the title.
Exactly. So when you said that make people watch to the very end, that rings home to me. That hits in a core feeling that I have and been wanting to do lately. And you just reconfirmed what I've been thinking.
So, and I also did one where I was comparing I want to say the Kangaroo and the Britannia. And I told people the same thing. I said, you're going to want to stay to the end. And I told him, I said, if I could give you one of these, which one is it going to be? I'm going to give away. And I was only going to give away one, but I ended up giving them both away. And I can't remember how exactly I did it, but I remember giving them away. And I sent one of them because he was a disabled veteran. So I sent him one.
Automatically gets one.
Yeah, so I sent that to him. I want to say he was like number 2 or something like that. So I went ahead and just sent that to him. And then another video I did was where I was talking about fake silver eagles, and a guy sent me, I think his name Jack. Yeah, Jack. Jack sent me 2 fake silver eagles where he got hosed off of social media,
Yeah,
and
I
I showed
remember the video.
people how to test them and whatnot. And I ended up sending him 2 real silver eagles in return, and
But
he
you know
was
what?
just
That
tickled
goes a
pink.
long way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
That's
engage.
another thing too, because loyalty nowadays is hard to come by, and genuine loyalty is almost worth its weight in gold, if not is worth its weight in gold, man. And for you to do
Oh,
that, in my opinion, dude, you're a man amongst men, just in that gesture.
yeah, he was tickled pink, and he couldn't believe it. I said, and I just sent it to him, and he watches every single video. But that's not what it's about. It was about, trying to make it right for him,
That's
and
right.
showing his bad experience and making other people aware. And so he was tickled pink.
That is
yeah,
so cool to hear.
So
yeah,
yeah, gauze and stickers and engagement with fans and whatnot, it is important. It really is. And number one, you're building a community, and you're building friendships inside that community where you can reach out to one another. So it has its perks. It has its non good things as well. But for the most part, it is a good gesture if you do it the right way.
Now,
yeah.
how do you feel about the younger community getting involved? Like a lot of us stackers actually have our kids involved nowadays. Like my daughter, the unicorn stacker. I'm not sure if she sent you mail or not. She has, I'll tell you now, she's still waiting. If she hasn't, I'm gonna ask her why.
I don't think I've seen anything from her. I'm like I said, I know I got yours in the mail, and I'm probably going to go through it in the next week and send out to everybody. But as far as the kids, man, if you can get kids involved, you're only going to make them that much better and that much more prepared for the future. The way that everything is going, as far as the economy and whatnot, they're already, behind the 8 ball. You know what I mean?
Oh, they are. They're screwed.
If they're going to college like my kids are right now, and I've had people, they'd comment on my videos. That's all you bought, that's all you got. I'm like, I'm a blue collar worker.
That's
I
right.
don't have a major income like a lot of people do now, and I do want to put my kids through college debt free, so that whenever they get ready to enter the job force, they ain't got no anchors tied to their ankles. They're
That's
ready
right.
to go. So if we can get these kids involved, if we can get them, excited about it, about saving money, that's big, that's huge. And I know the credit card companies, they're actually they're actually looking to take advantage of these kids nowadays, because
Oh, they
they're
are.
offering these kids credit cards where they can just check their balances and whatnot. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's the wrong way to do it. You're essentially teaching your kids to take on debt, and that's not good.
That's
So
right.
if we can get these kids involved in saving money where it's important to have something put aside for an emergency, then you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah, let me put that into perspective as well. There's like a popular saying that maybe some more seasoned stackers have heard, but if you're a younger person out there listening, there's a kind of like a saying that goes something like this: gold is the money of kings, silver is the money of the regular folks, bartering is the money of peasants, and debt is the money of slaves. So,
That's right.
as my buddy SC likes to say, let that sink in. All right,
That's
credit
right.
card versus silver. Where does it fit in that spectrum right there? So, pretty much everything we've been discussing so far, everything has two sides to it. My hat's off to you. I hope I can do, what you're doing for your children, for mine. Someday, I definitely aim to do that. And have your kids, attend university debt free, I would spend silver and gold on that by itself if I had to, because that's my
Oh, yeah.
job as a parent. And I think that like that kind of gets to a lot of things that we've been talking about is that like, there are several reasons why you do things, which are sounds like, to help other people. And keeping that in mind in everything that you do is important. And there's also another old saying, you get what you give. And like you sound like you're trying to help people. You give them information, you give them gold and silver, if they're participating, they're active. You give people the time and attention and energy that they give to you and stuff like that. And I think that makes a whole lot of sense. And this, we also like to call gold and silver honest money, and so therefore being honest and acting in an honest manner instead of being kind of greedy, and doing, bragging about God wins and just how much you've taken and everything like that. People can sense a bit of a difference. And I mean, there's nothing wrong, I'm not saying you should do one thing or the other, but I'm just saying, I think that when you're doing it with the spirit of helping other people, friends, family, supporters, audience, disabled veterans, whoever it may be, it comes back around and pays dividends for you
Right.
in the long run. So it's a lot more sustainable when you just act to be yourself and to be honest and stuff. And so I think like that's kind of like the message that I'm getting out of all of this, is that, yeah, there's like some things you can do on YouTube to grow your channel and make your channel bigger and stuff like that. But, just being honest about it and being helpful and, keeping that kind of mentality really, really does good for everybody, so that's really good. So you mentioned before as well about like how you did a go on Instagram. So
Mhm.
how does YouTube kind of compare with Instagram, and are you using any other platforms or just those two?
No, right now I just use those two. Instagram is it's a whole nother animal. It really is. That community over
Yes,
there is totally different than the YouTube community. Totally different.
yes, it is.
And those jokers over there, man, they are not afraid to call people out for what they are. They will,
But that's
and
good
they
though.
will, and they will hammer it home. But and it's funny. So, uh, I'm a big meme guy. I love reading the memes and stuff. I love that stuff. So I know mostly I'm serious on my channel, but in real life, man, I'm just a huge prankster. To be honest with you, I'm always goofing off outside, away from YouTube. So I Instagram is a lot of fun, and you can direct message people and talk to them all the time through there. It's such a easier platform to communicate, which is the way it should be, because this is a digital age, right? It's instant gratification. So whenever you use Instagram, like I said, or Facebook, you get real time comments and you can talk right away, and you can even use your voice over there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, their format's pretty user friendly, also, man, compared to I guess you would say the YouTube style things where you got to take the time, you got to make the video, edit the video. Over on Instagram, it's just like click, 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 I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the YouTube stories, the only way you can get to use that is if you have 10,000 subscribers, right? Whereas Instagram, you could do that immediately. You know what I mean? Because it's from Instagram. So I'm waiting on YouTube to come up with some type of form of direct messaging. And as soon as they do that, I think that's really gonna, drive up interaction even more. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I was gonna say, the one of the funny things about the mail calls and stuff, and you said you're like behind on the mail and things like that, and you guys were like talking about how it's like a full-time job. I was gonna say, they made the internet so we don't have to do that anymore. But we,
Right.
us
Right.
stackers, man, we like to have the physical stuff, So
That's
like,
right.
yeah,
Right. And I never really understood the whole sticker thing. I mean, we're all like grown men and women, and a lot of people are obsessing about stickers. We're just
Well,
like, okay, I'll play the game.
I think well, here's why I think it is a thing. Okay, now I'm taking my daughter out of it. She loves stickers. She's a kid, and for her, the stickers are like a badge of honor. Like, I spoke to this person, I am learning from this person, and Daddy, be quiet. You ain't getting my stickers. That's how she looks at it. So she looks at it as like you, like collecting badges. Like she earned the right to get someone's sticker because she's listening to their comments, she's making comments, listening to their content, interacting with them. So she's like, I support them. Do they care about us that support us? And that's how she looks at it. That's her words. And
Right.
then as an adult, the stickers, in a way, you can't afford to give out an ounce of silver or a dime to every single one of the people that you really who support you. But
Right.
you can send out a sticker. Like, it literally is pennies on the dollar. And you don't send out thousands of them. You might send out 100. But guess what? You're showing the community that, hey, I support you, or I support your channel, and vice versa. When, like, I've already had a bunch of people ask me that have 0 channels that mess with me and say, hey, man, I listen to your channel all the time. Would you mind if I have a sticker from you and the Unicorn Stackers? Like, absolutely, no questions asked. Here you go. You take, like what you said before, if you take the time to support me, I will take the time to support you and help you. And it's a two-way street. It's just a cost-effective way of showing support without actually saying, hey, here's a dime, here's a quarter. That adds up. Stickers, they're just something really nice to throw on your gun safe, throw on your wall. Say, hey, I support this guy and he cares enough to support me back. Look what I got.
Oh yeah.
yeah. And I mean,
That's
like I said, I think the stackers, we like the physical thing, to hold it, and also a lot of us are like collectors too,
That's
of
right.
coins and stuff like that and stuff. So that just fits in there, So, I was gonna ask you before, but you kind of already answered the question. Obviously your family knows what you do, Silver Britches, but you said outside of that, nobody knows, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And that was one of the reasons also that you started your channel. What's funny is that's kind of also one of the reasons I started my channel, is very similar thing. Also, I'm out here in Korea, man,
Right.
and like, you know what I mean? I'm just like all the way out here on the other side of the world, and I'm just like by myself. I want to tell people, but I don't want to tell people, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
So that was
Here
kind
I
of
am, YouTube.
yeah. Hey guys, don't forget about me,
Well, the cool thing about it is, though, with YouTube, like, we all get to show off our stacks and our collector's pieces, things that we like. But let's be honest, how many people around you really like what you like? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you say football, there's 10,000 football fans. You say cars, there's 100,000 car fanatics. You say silver, there might get 2.
Yeah.
You know, we like, just like everybody else, we like people commenting and talking with us about what we like. So the best way to do it is join, like you said, the internet, like-minded people with like-minded goals, and we can all encourage each other and get to see what each other has. And hell, you might show something off like you've already done to me, things that you have that I were like, wow, I need that in my life, and vice versa. It's just a good way of just confirming what you already know.
Right.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Silver Britches, when you started YouTube, did you start it with like the intention of making it into what it is, what it has become for you, or did you just, I know you mentioned the motivation about like, wanting to discuss and share with other people and stuff like that, but were you also thinking like, yeah, I want to have like a monetized channel, and I want to have about this many subscribers and all that kind of stuff, or you just were like, you just started it, and let's see where this thing goes.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. I didn't want to. I wasn't, trying to get paid or anything like that. I didn't even know about that until I watched. I want to say it was I had like 500-600 subscribers. I think I saw one of what's his name, Shadowstack, where he's he made a video about how to increase your stack without going the extra mile, and actually getting paid by YouTube was one of his listed things. I was like, huh. And so I was like, well, what do you got to do to get paid by YouTube? And so then I started researching that. I was like, oh, okay, well, so that's what I got to do. And then
Done deal.
it just kept going from there. And I never expected it to. I was shocked it got to 500. You know what I mean? I was like, and then people started telling me I got a great voice and all that. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm just a normal dude. And I don't know. It just took off, and it's weird. But I'm very humbled by it. Very, very humbled by it. I mean, it's amazing, really.
I mean, I mean, my channel's nowhere near that size, but I've also been surprised by like some of the comments that people say to me. Like they give me compliments and things like that, and it's like wow, I never really even thought about it that way, and just if people support you, like you just genuinely want to support them as well. And that's the thing with me too. Like, I try to get back to every single person, and also I try to support, the channels, like people who watch me and stuff like that. I'm gonna go and support them and watch them. So, it's it's crazy how when you get to like a certain level, though, it gets really difficult to do that. On a consistent basis.
It's tough. I get emails all the time. I get hit on Instagram all the time, and my channel's not even that big. So I can't imagine, the channels that are way up there. You know what I mean? I can't imagine the interactions that they get, and I get a bunch. Hey, come check out my channel. What do you think about this? Should I buy this? I get that all the time, and that's fine. I tell people in the videos, reach out to me, give me your questions, your comments, your concerns, whatever, and be prepared. Whenever you start getting bigger, you're gonna get a bunch of responses. So
yeah,
and I like what 2is1 has done. Instead of having to do that, what he's done is he created a Discord server, and that is a good move on his part, because that way there's always someone there to answer your questions. You know what I mean? Because this thing is live 24/7, right?
Yeah.
So you can't always, respond all the time. But if you have like a Discord server or something like that, then there's people inside that community that's always there to help.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually just started Discord today, so I'm still figuring. So
really,
I'm branching out into like a few other platforms today, and just kind of experimenting with it, because I had some subscribers and people wanting to hear this podcast in a podcast format, not on YouTube. So I had to look into it, and then also, the whole Wall Street bets thing happened recently, and I was like thinking about it because I wasn't on Reddit, never really engaged. I had some friends send me links and stuff like that to Reddit before,
right.
And so I kind of basically knew what it was, but I didn't really necessarily see the value in it for me to like spend my time on there or join it. But now I definitely do. I think it has a very unique.
now you can see the militarization of it.
Now you see it, yeah.
Well,
I think some people got wrecked by that, man.
Oh yeah,
they did, and they're still getting wrecked.
Yeah, someone in, I want to say it's in Florida. I'm sorry if it's fake news. I can't remember if it's if it's, I can't remember what state it is. I want to say it's Florida, but he's a 20-something-year-old guy. He took his life because he got wrecked. I remember seeing that article yesterday, and I was like, God almighty, man. You know, you got to be careful who you consume your content from. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Just because people are saying it's diamond hands, you got to hold it, ride this thing out, man. You got to be careful out there.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. You know, whenever you're a content creator, you are liable for what you say. It matters.
That's right.
People make decisions based off of what you say. So if you're giving them bad information, right? Like a lot of people did last weekend, they
Mhm.
gave out a lot of bad information because there was no squeeze. The only
Mhm.
people that got squeezed was the stackers. Because
Mhm.
now, guess what your premiums are? They're $10,
$10.
on Silver Eagles. They're 5 to 8 on generics. The
Mhm.
only people getting squeezed are us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to call that extortion, by the way.
Exactly. Exactly. And Big Bullion played a nice role in that as well.
Yeah. They absolutely did. Yeah. Yeah,
Because,
that whole thing was crazy, but that's what I'm saying. Like I thought about it after everything that went down, and I was like, you know what? No matter whoever came out on whatever side of this, the whole thing originated from Reddit. So like I need to
right,
be in there. I need to at least be observing, And I started
right,
thinking about how it operates as a platform, and incredibly powerful, because what happens in there is you say something, right? We're part of the same group. And if people like it, they're going to vote it up. If people don't like it, they're going to vote it down. So therefore, the things that you say are, basically assigned a value. There's like a market, an economic market for the value, and the value of what you say is assigned by the people who are in there with you and who are consuming your content. So presumably the things that people agree with or that they think have value are going to be voted up, and the things that they disagree with or that they think are bad are going to be voted down. Now it depends on the quality of the individuals, and what their motivations are and things like that, right? So obviously there's a bunch of attention on that platform right now, so there might be a whole bunch of new people coming in there. I mean, just like me, but I'm not there for any nefarious purpose or to try to gain something. I'm there mainly to observe and to kind of see what's going on, and maybe this is something that we should be involved with, because look at the impact that it had. I'm telling you guys, they were talking about Wall Street bets on the Korean news here.
yeah,
Like it was all over the place, and it spilled over into cryptocurrency, it spilled over into silver. And yeah, man, you're right. I saw, even before this whole thing happened, like I think it was 6 months ago or something, there was a kid who was actually a family member of like a hedge fund manager, really successful, billionaire or something like that, was like his nephew or whatever. He didn't understand, he was using um, options and margins and all these things, and he thought he was like 700 grand in debt, and that really wasn't the case. But he also took his own life, so it's not really a
hmm
game, man. Like you really do have to be careful, and you shouldn't just jump into something. And all these platforms, YouTube, Instagram, um, Reddit, and everything else, they're all about communication. And I know it's a cliche, but knowledge is power, and if you're going to be able to control like who's saying what and all those things, then that definitely does have consequences. So like you said, you're responsible for what you say. So
that's right.
think about what you're saying and why you're saying it, definitely.
Yeah, because believe it or not, people take you for what you say. And you guys know as well as I do, there are super good people in this community. So what you say matters. They believe what you
That's
tell
right.
them.
And
So
that's the
they are
downside
very,
too,
very
though.
trustworthy people. And they believe everything that you say. So you have to take that into consideration before you make that clickbait. You know what I mean?
That's
Mhm.
right. And
If
see,
you're
that's
gonna
the
sit
thing
here
too.
and say $1,000 silver, come on, man. There's no precedent for that shit. Sorry
That's
about that.
right.
But there's
No,
there's
you're
no
perfect. You're right.
I mean, $100 silver. There's no precedent for that. Maybe if you adjust for inflation, but we haven't even been there, and it's 5,000 years of existence. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, I mean, you have to look at it like you said before. I want to say contrarian. That is the best mindset to have. If someone tells you this is going to make you rich, you need to walk away from that place
That's right.
Yeah.
because
Immediately.
because the GameStop was like a 1 in like quadrillion, right?
Mhm.
Event. I want to say it made 9 billionaires from
Mhm.
that event. So this is like one of the only get rich quick schemes that have ever worked. So
And now that they know how it's going to be done, they've already changed the rules on it.
that's right. They're going
Well,
to change the rules. It's-
They changed the rules while it was happening.
That's right.
Robin restricted trading, and so did a bunch of other platforms. So it's not like, I don't think it's interesting, because I was going to ask you about that like later on, but
Well, it wasn't Robin Hood that stopped it. It was Robin Hood is the middleman. Okay,
yes,
people
they
who were
sell
putting
their
in,
data to the hedge funds.
right, the people that were putting in for them is the ones that stopped it. It
Yeah.
wasn't Robin Hood, but Robin Hood's going to be the bad guy
Mhm.
because they're the middleman.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You just gotta be careful. I mean, I don't use
But-
Robin Hood.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I mean, they
I did. I deleted it.
well,
I'm just
you're
throwing that out there. I did. I deleted it.
no,
Guilty
that's
as
good.
charged.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like free trading and stuff like that. Nothing's free.
Yeah.
That's the thing you gotta
No.
understand. You know, so that's the thing. If somebody tells you you're gonna get rich off silver, you said walk away, and you're right. You know
Mhm.
why? They're trying to get rich off of you, because
That's right.
there's always two sides to the equation. It's a zero-sum game, and it, anyone who tells you you're going to get rich from anything is trying to get rich from you. So
That's
right.
right.
keep that in mind. So but that's kind of interesting thing that I think about these days, is all these communication platforms and stuff like that, and like what like effect they have and everything like that. So, but just to bring it back down towards like to YouTube, and maybe even somebody who's like thinking about starting a channel and whatever, do you have any tips for people who, or advice for anyone who's thinking about starting their own YouTube channel?
Yeah. Number one, I would definitely be yourself. If you're just starting out, like if you haven't made any videos, just go ahead and just start making videos. You don't have to upload them, right? You just need to start making videos so you get comfortable in front of essentially talking to yourself. That's the main thing, because that is something that took me forever. It took me forever to be able to do that. So once you figure that out and you get comfortable talking essentially to yourself, but imagining that you're talking to people, then it's going to flow a lot better. So people are going to engage with you right away. Now, if you already have an established channel, the best thing that you can do is to explore different options. Okay, if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, it's never going to happen. So if it's not working, then you need to change it up somehow. Not necessarily copy other people, but somehow kind of change it up somehow to get more interaction, because that's what it's all about. YouTube is all about feeding the algorithm so that YouTube gets paid. So in order to do that, you have to get the views. And in order to get the views, you have to search out what people are looking for. So YouTube in itself is nothing but a big search engine. That's what it is. It's the #2 search engine in the world. So if you can figure out what people on YouTube are searching for, then you're going to get views, then you're going to grow. And the best way to do that is to search for topics through YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I do it when I want to know how to do something. I go straight to YouTube. I bypass Google. I go straight to YouTube and I type in how do you do such and such, and
There
you
you
have
go.
10,000 videos on there, and then you got to figure out of those videos which ones are realistic and which ones are just clickbait, and
Right.
which ones are all hype. And you're right, man. So whenever we do anything like that, you are, in my opinion, you're ultimately responsible for what you say.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is something, this conversation is a very relevant one and important one these days, and we're not the only ones talking about it. I see Facebook and Twitter and all the executives of all of those companies going before Congress to testify, and they're thinking about whether or not these companies should be broken up or regulated or whatever. So I think everybody's kind of figuring out what the impact of a lot of these social media platforms is. And I think as humans, we're just now starting to be able to reflect on what kind of impact they're having on us. So it's a really huge topic and really interesting one. But, like I said before, you're one of the biggest channels, or the biggest channel that we've had on so far by a lot. So that gives you another perspective. And but you're also a down to earth and honest guy, and so we really wanted to hear what you think and just kind of pick your brain on that. And it's very interesting, very informative, and we really appreciate that. So
Yeah,
thank you
man.
very much.
Anytime. I have no problem telling it like it is. And that's a flaw, but it's also a good thing, because you're gonna get my opinion whether you like that opinion or you don't. And I think that's important in life, because like I said, you only get so many trips around the sun. You might as well come clean right away to get your message out.
That's right.
Words of wisdom. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. All right. Thank you very much. And we will see you all in the next one. See you
Later, everyone.